Hey there everyone, welcome back. This is Wings of Wax, and we are back to playing more Slay the Spire. So, last time we ended up clutching out the win with the Silent, so today marks a brand new day for... This is going to be the Defect. So, yeah, this is a character that I struggle with, but I do think that it's a lot of fun because you have to manage orbs and stuff like that. So I think this character is really strong. But it is one of the more challenging ones, I would say, to pilot because there are, between managing all the orbs and managing like what cards you're going to be taking and your life total, basically just the orbs just add an extra layer of management to your runs, and it's a lot of fun. But I feel like I'm going to lose quite a bit because it's just very difficult to decide which route to go into. And so yeah, you'll see we start off with 75 HP, and we start off with the Cracked Core, which is at the start of each combat, channel 1 Lightning Orb. So the Lightning Orb deals 3 damage at the end of your turn to a random enemy. When it is evoked, or when it is replaced, I should say also, it will deal, I think it's like 7 damage to a random enemy. But obviously you're destroying the orb at that point, so... It'll be interesting to see where this deck leads us. I think there's 4 orbs technically in the game for the Defect. I would say this is probably my favorite character, even though it is the most challenging for me to play against. So let's take a look to see if we can take advantage of this enemies being at 1 HP. Technically we can. So like I'm looking at, we have 1 enemy here. We have potentially not, obviously not, but this would be another enemy. This is potentially not another enemy. So we have 2 question marks that could be enemies, and if they are, then it kind of screws us up into getting to this elite. But I'm wondering if that might be worth taking the risk for, though. The other question, the other way we could go is, I would say it's more likely that we could go up this path, and this elite would actually be at 1 health. The only issue is we don't get our key piece if we go for this one. So, and we might, I would guess we'd probably get about 1 combat here. That'd be my guess between these three question marks. This is actually a tough choice for me. I like that this elite also has a campfire right before it and be able to go for a campfire right after to be able to upgrade a card or be able to replenish our health. Then we have another one up here if we wanted to. There's no other elites going up this way, so this would be the only elite we could fight throughout the act, whereas this one we can fight potentially 2 elites, it looks like. Potentially 3, depending on how good we look. Let's see. Are the relics, though, that much better for the Defect? Because, like, the Ironclad, the relics are not really as powerful. I feel like the cards are more powerful for the Ironclad. The Silent, the relics tend to be more powerful. So, like, I value relics less often with the Ironclad, so going for elites is less of a frequent priority. And going for relics on the Silent, I feel like is a priority. So, because there are some like really powerful ones for the Silent, like being able to, damage boost like 0 casting cost cards, or just like poison enablers and stuff like that, that are really beneficial to the Silent. Whereas the Defect has a couple of goodies, but I'm not sure which one is better for him actually. Is it better to prioritize cards right away because you just prioritize your orbs and trying to get better orbs? I would guess that that's probably the best case scenario, is like you're trying to prioritize orbs. The other thing I should look at is probably the deck here. So we are pretty much aggressive. I would say the hardest part about playing the Defect is we just don't have a lot of defensive things, so we take a lot of damage like setting up things, like trying to set up like our zap and stuff like that, which will channel an extra lightning orb. This will evoke an orb in the rightmost slot twice. So if it deals 7 damage, it'll deal 14 damage for 1 mana, so we got to keep that in mind. These two are usually like the top priorities for being upgraded. I would say Zap is definitely the upgrade. Dual cast is not necessarily needed to be upgraded, but obviously if we have no other better options, then just having a 0 mana dual cast is better than having a 1 mana casting cost, obviously, because we can usually just turn that into like an extra defend or an extra strike for the turn. So just more damage or more defend depending on what the turn is. This turns into 0 mana as well, so that's why that's a priority. I think this one is the biggest of priorities to upgrade. This is actually tough. Like, when in doubt, max HP, but we could get to this without a combat, and like we have to take 2 gambles here on not hitting combats if we do that. But even if we do, we still have a campfire to be able to rest at, so I'm not opposed to actually going this way and seeing where that leads us. I think we try that. I think we try that. We'll do enemies. Let's give it a shot. So obviously these guys are just going to die to, you know, anything. So there's not much challenge there. But, ooh, let's see. Stack is not really something I want early on. It's going to be better on... It's a better card, like, towards, like, the end of Act 2 or the end of Act 3, where you actually... Or anywhere in Act 3, where you actually have some a number of cards in your deck to be able to take advantage of the block. I'm not really a huge fan of Stack, though. I think that Cold Snap and Leap are just stronger cards. I'm not sure which one is better. Typically, so Frost Orbs, for those that don't know, at the end of your turn, you generate 2 block. And when they are evoked, I want to say it's like 5 or 6 or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but you evoke it and it gives you another large amount of, usually like a common card's worth of a block for the turn if you evoke it. But there are a lot of strategies where you can just basically build up a bunch of Frost Orbs and just never take damage if you can get some focus and stuff to be able to go with this. I'm not sure which one is better right now between the Frost Orb and the Leap. Since we already have so many aggressive cards, I'm not sure that Cold Snap is worthwhile. I think the Leap is just a little bit stronger just because... I mean, it is 1 more block, but... I mean, it's a lot more block because we were dealing damage with Cold Snap. I was thinking it was blocking, but it's actually dealing damage. So I think that Leap, because we're worried about our life total early on in the game, I think Leap is just a little bit better right now. I could be wrong, though. But I think that Leap is just a more powerful card at this moment. So we're looking for more like defensive cards to kind of go with our Frost Orbs, and this is not really one of those. So, yeah, I think we go for a Leap here. All right, I'm just going to take, ooh, actually, we're about to hit a shop. So I can actually take this for the first time ever. We're not going to get punished. Oh my God, look at that. Let's just go remove it from our deck. I'm not even going to look at it. I don't want to look at anything else until I remove that. Okay, good. Let's go. Okay, so where are we at? We could take a anchor, which will help us set up the first couple of turns. That's actually reasonable. I would say... Beam Cell is not terrible. I feel like it's okay as like a one of, but typically you're going to be dealing damage through your orbs. You're not really going to be dealing damage through cards. So that's why like I'm not really like super... I'm not really for Beam Cell. I do think that this has a deck where it's worthwhile, which is the Storm decks, I guess, is what you refer to them as in Magic, where they're just a bunch of 0 casting cost cards, and there are ways in the Defect to take advantage of that. And those decks are a lot of fun, but they're definitely difficult to build. We already passed on the Cold Snap, so definitely not taking the Cold Snap here. Force Field is 4 mana. It costs 1 less for each power you've played each combat, so right now this is a dead card because it only gives us 12 block. If we had more powers in the deck, then definitely Force Field would be beneficial, but it's not right now. We have Reinforced Body, which is a really good card. I would say it's one of the better uncommons for us, where we gain block X times, 7 block X times, which is, you know, basically what we're looking for the early amounts of the game with the Defect. So I think that this is going to be probably one of our picks. But Heat Sink is the other one. Whenever you play a power card, you draw a card. There's a power synergy that you can do, and almost like kind of like go infinite-ish with Heat Sink and stuff, and just play a bunch of cards. And there are ways if you can get. There's a relic that makes, like, whenever you play a power... I think it's Mummified Hand. Whenever you play a power card, a card in your hand costs 0. A random card in your hand costs 0, which, if you can build, you know, a power synergy strategy, you can basically just kind of, like, go infinite with that. So, I do think Anchor's a pretty good choice. Like, obviously, we don't really need the max HP right now with Strawberry, and obviously the Lee's Waffle does the exact same thing right now. We don't really need these. I'm thinking we just take a reinforced body and a anchor. I'm also not opposed to like secret weapon, but right now we don't really like have any attacks we can fully take advantage of. We just have, you know, the strikes, which is not our reason to take secret weapon right here. And we also don't need the vulnerability, so I don't think that's worthwhile either. So I think we take a reinforced body, an anchor, and from there we could potentially take a fire potion to help us out. Distilled chaos is not terrible, but I think a fire potion at this point in the game is going to be more beneficial to us, just because that'll help us actually take out an elite. So I don't think Distilled Chaos is right now. I think Distilled Chaos gets better later on in the game when you actually have better cards in your deck. Because right now we just have like strikes and defense, and those don't really do much. Don't really do a lot. I'd rather just have, you know, steady 20 damage to be able to take out an elite. Consideration to take the weak potion, but I think we just save our money here. All right, let's try this. Obviously, we're not going to try very hard. He's at 1 health. Let's see. Ooh, reprogram's not terrible. You gain 2 focus, but you lose 1 strength and 1 dexterity. So it's good if you're just focusing in on orbs. But I don't think it's really the pick here just yet. We don't really have a focus in on orbs just yet because we only have 1 orb card. So Ball Lightning is a fantastic card. Being able to deal 7 damage is very aggressive, and also channel a lightning orb. So basically dealing 10 damage. So it's like it's a slightly better than Strike Plus. Which is kind of what we're looking for, a couple of strike pluses early on. We also have Claw, which is deal 3 damage and increases its all claw card damage by 2 this combat every time you play it. So if you get a bunch of claws, you know, it can scale and become very powerful. I do think that Ball Lightning is the clear pick here because we are looking for a couple more orbs. So no combat, no combat. We got combat. All right, fine. I see how it is. I see how it is, game. All right, we're not going to take Cold Snap. I already passed up on that before. If this was a defensive card, I definitely would have taken it because we don't really want like a 2-for-1 deal with our defensive cards, because whenever we're deciding to attack or defend, we don't really want a mixture of the two. Like I guess like, you know, cards like Dash and Iron Wave are reasonable things to consider whenever you're looking at Cold Snap, but because this only gives you 1 Frost Orb and we don't have a lot of focus, this only gives you 2 block in the beginning of the game. That's why like I don't really value it very highly early on. But like I said, I'm still pretty new to playing this character, so if I'm passing on this and that's a mistake, then please feel free to let me know. But I'm pretty sure that that's not a very good card, because I've tried it a couple times and I feel like the Frost Orbs are not very great. Anyways, we have Cool-Headed, which is channel 1 Frost Orb and draw a card. I do like this. I think this gets better on later on in the game when you actually have more energy and more 0 casting cost cards to cast, such as a Steam Barrier, which I think is going to be our pick here because it's a 0 mana casting cost, just defensive card. Like it's going to be helping us out so that we can actually cast more of our cards in our turn, be able to prevent more damage. I do realize that it decreases its block by 1 every time you play it, but it's still worthwhile because, you know, really you're only going to see this card if you have like a 20 or 30 card deck. You're really only going to see this card like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times at most in a game, unless you're fighting against a boss, then maybe 4 or 5 times at most, which that's when it actually becomes bad. But, you know, at this point, I think it's still worthwhile to pick up because we're not going to be cycling through our deck all as often as you think we would be. So Steam Barrier is a definite good pick here, but unfortunately now we have to go fight this elite. So I will say that Gremlin Hub is going to be the most treacherous one for us to fight because we have so many skills. So if we can avoid Gremlin Knob, I think I'll be happy. And I think for our first upgrade, I think it's just going to be Zap. Zap and I would say Reinforced Body are the 2 key cards that I would definitely consider here. But for like all of the Act 1 bosses, or elites, I should say, I think that going for the 0 casting cost Lightning Orb is just way better. And we have Lagavulin. So I'm not going to do anything this turn. I want to set up a turn to be able to cast a Lightning Orb. We have 2 Lightning Orbs. Perfect. It's like exactly what I was hoping for here. The only thing that I wish we had was some more damage. How are we looking for next turn? I could dual cast next turn to be able to deal some extra damage. Unfortunately, we have double defense. We might not draw another strike. So yeah, I think we just pass here. Oh, he's just right. He awoken because we dealt him damage. Correct. I should have just dealt him damage with the strike. That's okay. Mistakes were made. I don't actually think that dual cast is worthwhile here. Mostly just because I think we're gonna get more value out of being able to get the 9 damage consistently from this. See, like here, it's a pretty good turn for us. We get to cast all the cards in our hands, deal as much damage as possible, deal almost half of his health right there. Alright, so clearly we don't have to do anything here. Let's go. Just the 9 damage consistently for the early parts of the game is really, really worthwhile for us. We could fully block. I think that's worthwhile. Dealing consistently 9 damage per turn. We can use our potion too, our fire potion if we need to, which we might. I do think this is going to deal more damage to him, so we should do that. It's going to deal 9. We should be able to put a block this turn and be able to kill him on the following turn. I don't mind taking a couple extra points of damage since I know he's going to be dead here. It was almost like guaranteed, and even if it wasn't, we had the fire potion, so like I didn't want to use the fire potion, but you know. Creative AI is a card. It's a good card, but it's a 3-mana do nothing. So I'm a little, you know, angsty to take it here. It is a power that at the start of your turn, add a random power card to your hand. So it is, I wouldn't say it's a plan A like ever in these decks. I did play with it quite a bit, and I used it as a plan A, but there are just so many turns where like it's kind of like when you go to cast like Barricade, or when you go to cast a demon form, you just take so much damage on the first turn you play it. So I don't think it's actually worthwhile here. If we had 4 mana, or if we had this is later on in the run, I definitely would take it. But I think I have learned that it's just not great early on in the run, honestly. It is card advantage, which is, you know, great, but yeah, I don't think it's worthwhile. We have Capacitor as well, which I'm considering because I haven't really taken Capacitor very often. I usually try to focus on evoking orbs, but I'm thinking that this Capacitor actually just gets better too with like Frost Orb enablers and stuff like that, which is probably what we're going to be taking, I would imagine, since we already have like 2 lightning orbs that we can take advantage of. And I don't think we need another steam barrier, so I think I'm going to try a Capacitor this time. We'll give it a shot. Let's go for an upgrade. What would we like to upgrade? How many slots? 3 slots. So consideration, just go for the reinforced body here. That is probably better than just going for like a 0-mana dual cast. This just goes up to 10 damage. It doesn't give us an extra orb. 8 block. I think it's between like capacitor or reinforced body, and I'm not sure which one is better right here. I think I'm just gonna play it safe and go for the reinforced body. 9 block X times, pretty good. Doesn't matter which way we go. We could potentially hit another shop, but we don't really need another shop. We could find a defrag. How much would a defrag cost? Probably like probably 100 gold, I would imagine. So defrag is a power card that gives you +2 focus, which means all of your orbs will do +2 more, whatever they do. So if it's a lightning orb, it'll deal +2 damage. Is that worthwhile? I think it is. We have, what, 1 more combat? There's 1 more combat going this way, it looks like. No, actually, the same amount of combats. Okay, yeah, so this is fine. We'll just go this way. Maw Bank. There is a shop. This makes it so I don't actually want to go to a shop now. Okay. Well, we can avoid the shop then. That's not a big deal. Sure, we can afford to lose some HP to upgrade here. What do we have? If I go this way, we have 2 more combats to potentially fight through, potentially 3. So, do I need some HP, or can I just go for an upgrade? Since I don't really have like a strict upgrade that I want right now, I think I'm just gonna go for a rest here. Let's see if we pick up something that I actually want, like a clear a clear upgrade on. What do we go for here? The problem is if we kill this one, he's going to get buffed, and we're going to be debuffed, rather. So I'm thinking we go after this slime. I could just kill the slime with the fire potion, but I kind of want to save the fire potion for the boss. We have slime boss, which is going to be the fire potion is going to be very useful against, so... Yep, let's go for that. Let's go for the double defend. So we're going to take some damage here. It's not the end of the world, though. This will deal 8 damage. Problem is that, well, we need 2 to be able to connect to be able to hit that, which is such a waste of damage at that point. This is actually kind of tough. You know, I think we go for this. Okay. It's unfortunate, but, you know, we don't really have to do anything else this turn, so... And he should be dead next turn with our 2 lightning orbs in play, so we're good. We're good. We're good. Oh, I could have saved that, actually. I didn't realize I had Ink Bottle active. I will get rid of one of these gamblers. Okay. So we have Recycle, which is 1 mana for exhaust a card, gain energy equal to its casting cost. So it's pretty good later on in the game when you actually have like 2 and 3 casting cost cards that are just dead. Also being able to choose to exhaust cards from your deck is pretty reasonable too, so that way you don't draw them later on. You can just try to find your better cards more frequently. Or you could set up like infinite combos and stuff like that with it. So Auto Shields is a pretty good one of. Being able to gain 11 block as long as you have no block. This would be the first card you could like cast in a turn. The only thing that hurts it right now is Anchor, but that's still fine. I think that's still better than going for a leap here. I think Auto Shields is going to be worthwhile. So basically that Auto Shield is only dead on turn 1, so that's fine. Yes, deal damage, leap, strike. Pretty good turn so far. Let's see. We need to double block at least because I don't want to take any damage if I don't have to. He's at 10, so we need 1 point of damage. There we go. Looks like they deal 8, by the way. Ooh, let's get rid of this Gambler's Potion and get rid of this regen then. That sounds fantastic. We don't really want a Cold Snap. Rip and Tear is a reasonable card, and so isn't Streamline. Okay. Interesting. So, I'm not sure which one I value more. Okay, so Rip and Tear is 1 mana, deal 7 damage to a random enemy twice. So it'll deal 14 damage to a random enemy for 1 mana. That's pretty good. Streamline deals 15 damage to an enemy of your choosing, but you also get to reduce the casting cost of Streamline every time you cast it. So that means the 3rd time you cast it, it'll be free. So it's not bad. I'm not sure which one is better here, though. And I'm not sure we actually need either of these, to be honest. But I could see, like, Streamline being really good, though, later on, especially if we go for, like, a Frost Orb build. Because then it's just, like, it takes 2 mana to be able to set this up, and then it'll cost 1, which means we can play many more cards in a turn. I'm kind of, like, digging the Streamline, so I think we're going to take it here. Of course. I should have thought about that with Mawbank. That's fine. Okay, what do we have? I don't really take advantage of Frozen Eye whenever I do take it, so I'm just not going to take it this time. It probably should be a card that I take here, but I just don't take advantage of it enough. I do think like Mayhem is really powerful because it just gives you an extra like card advantage card engine every single turn, or a card that, you know, you just get a free card every turn. And also you can upgrade this so it costs 1 mana. I do think that Mayhem is actually really reasonable. And we have really no cards that like are bad with it. I would say Reinforced Body is probably the only thing that I would be very upset with. Maybe like Dual Cast actually couldn't definitely screw us up for a couple of turns. Maybe that's a reason to not take Mayhem, because we just don't have control over our deck. It is really good though. That's tough. That's tough. There's not really like anything here that I'm like very impressed with. We also have Scrape, which is a deal 7 for 1 mana, draw 3 cards, discard all cards drawn this way that do not cost 0. So this is for like the Storm decks, basically, the 0 cast and cost card decks. This is actually really, really good too in the 0 cast and cost card decks. So We don't really need another reinforced body. We don't obviously want a cold snap. I'm not sure we need another steam barrier. It's probably not terrible, but I don't think we need it. And we have machine learning, which is 1 mana for power at the start of your turn. Draw an additional card. So we get an extra choice every single turn to be able to cast this. This is a good card because obviously it gives us more choices, but it doesn't actually do anything when we like cast it. For one, it sets us up for later on in the game, and two, it just seems better for like a power strategy. I'm not really sure it's necessary for this deck. It does dig us through our deck a little bit faster, but with cards like Steam Barrier, we really don't want to be digging too fast through our deck. But with cards like Streamline, we do want to be digging through our deck pretty frequently. So I don't know. This is actually tough. I was hoping we'd find like another orb other than Cold Snap, since we've been offered that like 5 times this round. I was really hoping for another orb here, but do we just go for the machine learning and call it a day? I could also just pass on all this stuff. I'm not really sure any of this is really like very beneficial to us. Machine learning is the only thing that I would say I'm leaning towards taking. I'm not taking Mayhem just because there's 2 cards already in the deck that like need us to be able to time them properly. And with having cards need to be timed properly, that makes me not want to use Mayhem. If we didn't have those, then I definitely would go for the Mayhem here. Or if we only had like one of those, I would definitely go for it. This is hard. You know what? I think we take the machine learning. I don't think we need to rest here. This becomes innate. We don't need to spend the resources to innate that right away, though. I don't even think we actually need to spend the resources to innate this. This is just gonna, like, I've been realizing that I spend my upgrades on innates, and it feels like to get it down on turn 1 is not that valuable. Like, obviously it makes the future of the game a little bit better, but you'd rather just upgrade cards that actually impact the game more, like ones that deal more damage, or just give you more orbs, or whatever it is, like, or even like casting cost of orbs and stuff, like the lightning zap, whatever it's called. Streamline goes up to 20. That's probably pretty good against especially the slime boss. We don't really need another to upgrade the capacitor just yet, since we only have 2 orbs that we can make right now. I would say auto shield is also pretty good, but it's not really good against this boss. I think Streamline is just a better card against this boss, because we want to just deal as much damage as possible against slime boss. Well, obviously we drew everything that is defensive, so we're going to try to redraw again. Deal some more damage. Nice. We got there. That was actually really good for us. All right. Yes. And yes. And yes. Let's go. Let's go. 35 damage incoming. Let's see. We could reinforce body to prevent a lot of this damage. That's probably not a terrible choice. What's the other option? Streamline will deal 20, 29. This will deal... Oh god, math. 30... I said 29, right? 29, so 37, which would be 45? It's not a very good split. I think we'll just go for the reinforced body here. Because we can basically set it up so that way in 2 turns we can go for a better split. This turn looks like it might be the split turn, because he's going to be getting dealt 12 damage anyways. Okay, if that's the case, then we'll toss that at you. Okay. They're not attacking. That is actually really good for us here. Well, looks like we're casting slimes. And I'm going to go for the front one, because this one tends to deal more damage. And this guy's about to split, so Streamline's actually really good here. And none of these cards actually do anything because they're not attacking. It's kind of funny that they're not attacking. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see. We do want to cast a Zaps, clearly. Yeah, we can prevent the damage that he's dealing to us, so... we could actually just kill him, so that's why I went for the strike. Okay. Thunder Strike. Deal 7 damage to a random enemy for each channeled lightning orb this combat. So, that's a pretty good card. We have a lot of ways to be able to... I shouldn't say we have a lot of ways. We have 2 ways right now to generate lightning orbs. I do think there is a time and a place for Thunder Strike, but I'm not sure this is actually the time or place. So let's look at Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam is 2 mana, deal 26 damage to all enemies, but we lose 3 focus. And that's permanently over the course of the combat that we're in, which means our orbs basically do nothing at that point. So that's why I don't like Hyper Beam very much. If we had ways to be able to upgrade our focus, or if we just didn't care about our orbs, I think I would take Hyper Beam, but Hyper Beam, I just think because you lose 3 focus is just awful for this deck. So it is really good though. It's, you know, it's kind of like it's like Immolate. I would say Hyper Beam is like Immolate, where it's really good to be able to get you to the heart, but it's not actually good against the heart. So that is part of the reason why I don't like it. I like to take cards that are just good against the heart. So, and Seek is the last one here. 0 mana for a skill. Whenever you put, you may choose to put a card from your draw pile into your hand. Then you exhaust this, and then if upgraded, you get to put 2 cards into your hand. What is upgraded for this? Just deals extra damage. Correct. Okay. So I would say like Thunderstrike is really good against the heart and a lot of bosses. Seek is just like a good card to be able to find your better cards more frequently. So I'm considering just going for the Seek here because I think we'll be able to find better cards. Like this is not like a card that I really want right away, and when we draw it's gonna the first time and probably the second time, it'll probably be dead. So this is a card that you want to find later on in the game, that once you already have more lightning orbs, then I think that's when this is worthwhile to take. But right now I don't think it's worthwhile. I think it's better to just take a Seek here, so that way our deck's just more consistent. All right. Oh boy. Oh, these are some fun choices that we have to make here. Is there anything in here that we like want to upgrade now that I think about it? Like, obviously Seek would be awesome. Okay, so let's go. Astrolabe, which is upon pickup, transform 3 cards and then upgrade them. So I'm looking at that one right now because I think that's actually a reasonable choice, because we don't really have a solid direction yet. We also haven't really gotten any like frost orbs and stuff like that we can take advantage of. So I'm considering you. We have Fusion Hammer, which is gain extra energy, but you can no longer smith at rest sites, which means we can only rest. And we have Tiny House, which is upon pickup, we obtain 1 potion, gain 50 gold, raise your max HP by 5, obtain 1 card, and upgrade 1 random card. So for me, it's between Astrolabe to upgrade probably... How many defensive cards do we have? We have quite a bit actually now. So I would say like a strike and 2 defense. Yeah, I think we have enough defensive cards to warrant that. Or just to go for the Fusion Hammer, which means we don't get to upgrade any of our cards. And if that's the case, like the worst thing we're missing out on is like the Seek upgrade and the auto shields, I feel like at this point. I guess like Leap also. Capacitor is, you know, being upgraded would be nice, but I don't think we actually necessarily need it. It is good though. I think we go for the consistency of just Fusion Hammer, just giving us the extra energy. Especially for Act 2. That we can cast our Streamline more often. I'm not sure. We only really have like 1 mana cards in the deck, and this costs 2 the first time, but it's tough. Obviously, Reinforced Body works really well with extra mana too. This is really tough. I'm not sure which one is the best one here. What am I leaning towards, though? I mean, the Fusion Hammer just gives us more energy, so we can actually take like 2 cast and cost cards. I think that's going to be the path we go down. Yeah, I think that's going to be the path. Let's go. All right, let's go to Act 2 here. About 35 minutes in? Okay, we got this. All right, who are we fighting against? Bronze Automaton? Okay. So we just got to have some block for his Hyper Beam turn. That's basically what this comes down to. Yeah. Let's see here. What are some good paths? So I would like to be able to hit like question marks at this point. We don't really need to do very many regular combats. I don't mind hitting a couple, but I prioritize, I think, question marks from here on out. And I do like hitting elites too, but I want to be able to hit elites that have campfires either right before or right after them. Assuming there's not many combats before them if the fire is right after. So I'm thinking about, like, this one looks like a pretty solid option. We can't upgrade here, obviously. If we wanted to go for the upgrading, this would be the way to go. But since we just, took the fusion hammer, we can't upgrade anymore. So, there's one more elite up here, but I think that might be not a great choice. Because these would be two, like, premium enemies, which means they're going to be harder than your typical ones. Because we're going to be fighting probably 2 or 3 enemies in the beginning. So on Act 2, I think it's like 2 or 3. The first 2 or 3 enemies are weaker. And then after that, that's when they have like the upgraded enemies and stuff like that in the game. From what I've learned, at least. So I think I'm going to be prioritizing going for some question marks and trying not to take too many combats down these hallways if I can help it. So thinking this might just be the best route, though. We can decide when we get here, I guess. Okay. Unfortunately, this is not going to evoke and take armor off of him. So I guess we just go for the reinforced body here. It's too bad we didn't have more damage. Well, we have capacitor. Actually, let's go for the Seek first. What do we want? We want stealing 18. We only have 10 block this turn. Ooh. Do we go for the auto shields then? I think we do. And obviously striking is not going to do anything to him here, so we're just going to try to set it up so we can just take no damage. And, yeah, this is a turn. Okay. It might be worth it for us to just go for combat then. Let's do it. That we can actually break one of his plate armors. Okay. Where are we at? Dual cast to be able to get rid of the plate armor is actually really worthwhile here. So that way we can actually try to get more damage in. I do want to be able to go for this auto shield now that I think about it. And obviously we're going to cast a Steam Barrier. Yeah, we're just casting all the cards in our hand. I'm just prioritizing things in the way that I think that they should go first. And then we'll... Like, clearly we're going to be doing that. From there... Yeah. And you were dead. Awesome. That worked out. We only took, what, 7 damage? That's not bad. So we have Compile Driver, which is a deal 7 damage and draw cards equal to the number... Draw a card equals to the number of unique orbs you have. Not a terrible card. We have Barrage, which is deal 4 damage for each channeled orb. This is also a decent card, too. And we have Turbo. Turbo is gain 2 energy and add a Void to your discard pile. A Void, basically, when you draw it, siphons an energy from you. I'm not sure that any of these are really, like, very worthwhile. I would say if we're looking for a Strike Plus, I think Compile Driver is just stronger at this point because it'll just be a deal 7 draw card. Barrage can be good, but it's only really good later on in the game. Since we don't really have a lot of ways to generate orbs at this moment, I don't think Barrage is the pick. I think if we do take a pick, it will be Compile Driver, so I'm going to take that. So we have Get Jaxed. You can gain 2 strength. It's basically just like a flex. I don't really think we need that. We can transform 2 cards, or we can obtain a mutagenic strength, which is at the start of each combat. The very first turn we have plus 3 strength. So, and then it goes away at the end of the first turn. We're not really like focused on going for strength, so I don't think that's necessary, but it's either I take the safe pick, which is that gaining 3 strength and losing it the first turn, or I go for transforming cards here. And I'm never really like 4 transforming cards. So I think I'm just going to take this. Since I don't want to add a card to our deck like Jax, I don't think that's worthwhile. So let's move on through the combats. What do we got? All right. Let's see what we draw. I'm going to go for the one at the end because he has the most HP. Unfortunately, we're not able to take one out of the sky here. That's not good. Oh, that's not good at all. All right, pass. This is going to be a problem. Because all of them are buffing up here, and we have no way to, like, reduce the damage they're dealing. Am I going to have to just, like, reinforce body for everything? So, 20, 23. Is that right? Yeah. 23, which means I can still cast a 1-mana card. Is machine learning better than going for the capacitor here? I think it is. Okay. Oh, I was off. 20. That'd be 33. My bad. I brain farted there. I don't even know what the heck just happened there. We don't have enough damage to be able to take out one of these unless we go for a Seek. If we go for a Seek, we just have Strike Plus. Ugh. You know, it's actually still worth it though. Just take one of these out of the sky. I'm gonna go for the one at the back. I think that's the most beneficial right now. Just because he had the most HP. Yeah. We're going to take 5 damage. But now we have all of our orb slots filled too. But we're taking a lot of damage, obviously. I'm not going to sugarcoat that by any means here. Well, we definitely have auto shields. Yeah. And clearly we need to defend. Do I just, like, strike this guy? Can't believe we haven't cast Streamline yet. I think we have to strike him and just go for a capacitor. And then I can choose if I want to go for a dual cast here. This will actually deal the full 8 damage, by the way. It won't deal reduced damage because it's not attacking them. Because it only they receive 50% less damage only if they're being attacked, which they're not being attacked by the orbs that are evoked. In case you're wondering. But I do think keeping the orbs up is just more beneficial to us right now. Man, we are taking some big hits, though, on these birdies. Alright, let's see if we can draw another... We'll take out the one that's weaker right now. Yep. That's all we can do. Let's go. Let's go. We got one left here. It's not looking good, but we're okay. So he's only dealing us 15, so it means we can attack it one more time. And go for the reinforced body for 2. And here we go. All right. I don't think we need a plasma orb. So plasma is what gives you an extra energy at the start of your turn. And when it's evoked, I believe it gives you 2. So we don't really need that since we already picked up the fusion hammer. I'm not going to take Cold Snap. Hologram, though, is actually pretty worthwhile. Being 1 mana to gain 5 block here. It's hologram plus, so gaining 5 block, but putting a card from your discard pile into your hand. So we can summon more orbs if we need to, or find more block if we need to, or find another attack that we need to. Like, it's just very beneficial to us. And 45 health. So I think we're actually going to go fight the combat over here. Since I think I might need to heal up before I actually go fight the elite. Yeah. And I do want to cast that. Hologram is not going to be cast. Looks like Seek's not going to be cast either, but I do kind of want to get Seek out of the deck because otherwise I'm going to draw it. I could get Zap here. Yeah, let's go for that. Which actually means I think this is going to be better in the long run of this matchup. There we go. We can actually get all 3 orbs set up here. That seems like the best way to go about this. Prevent all the damage and deal him 9 damage. So obviously we're going to go for this. From there. I don't know. We have 11 block. We can go up to 16 block with that. We can obviously use the reinforced body too. So I think we go for the compile. I can dual cast here because I drew the leap. I guess it didn't matter if I drew the leap or not. And then we can just go for the reinforced body. Okay, this is fine. He's really close to being able to be dead here, so... We have no cards in our graveyard. I have nothing in my hand that costs 0, so Snecko Eye, you know, and a hologram are actually a pretty decent combo if you can actually get cards that cost 0, but since we don't, kind of sucks. So we can prevent the 9 and be able to compile him. Let's do that. We also get a zap. Awesome. All right, so he's dead next turn because these guys don't block, so we have a streamline for 0. All right, I don't think we need another streamline. I do think that we can take a cool-headed here. We're starting to get to that point where we have some extra mana every turn, and being able to generate a Frost Orb I think is going to be beneficial. We're just looking for some focus. Focus on the deck, but also focus as in, like, you know, being able to give your orbs more focus, that is. So I think Cool Head is actually worthwhile here. And yeah, we'll go and check out this. I would like to buy a relic. We got Ancient Tea Set, which will give us 2 energy at the start of every combat after we visit a rest site. So right here, we're visiting a rest site. And then we get to go fight an elite. Alrighty. And this does not look like a good turn for us. Okay. Well, we're casting all the cards. And we're going for the guy in the back. This is the problem that the Defect has, though. You'll see, like, our turn 1s and turn 2s are not very good, typically. That is the problem that the Defect always has. I do think we need to cast this. And I can defend, or I can Compile Driver. Compile Driver is going to draw us a card, but we're not going to be able to take advantage of that, so I think we defend here. And I don't think we dual cast because having these orbs out in play is going to be more beneficial to us in the long run. I think we are going to go for the regen potion, though. Ooh, actually. Yes. Yes. Okay, we use both of our potions, but this combat should go long enough where we can take advantage of the regen potion, so. Okay. Okay. What do we want to do here? So we have cool-headed. Obviously, we can Steam Barrier here. And I think we go for the hologram into cool-headed again. Okay, so we have 15 block. So we would need to be able to cast another defend here if we wanted to block all the damage. I think that's worthwhile. I mean, it doesn't matter which one we cast here, but we don't have any 0 casting cost cards. Let's go. Keep seeking the deck then. Yeah, this is where, like, Capacitor actually is very helpful because now we actually get to stack up some Frost Orbs if we want. And I'd like to try to take out one of you if I can help it. Maybe I should have gone for the Seek actually first. That would have been, that was kind of silly. Go for the Streamline here. Unfortunately, we're going to be taking damage if I do that, though, so I should have done that first. That was a mistake, but it's okay. We can still recover from it, so I'm not like... It wasn't like the worst thing. We did get another cool-headed. So I guess we could just go for that. I think we're going to go for a Ball Lightning, too. And then we can hologram, try to find another... Go for another cool-headed, I think. Just making sure that way they can just, like, never deal us damage is what this is coming down to. Ooh, is that better than going for a Streamline now that I think about it? Oh, no. All right, they're attacking for 14. We have 12, which we actually can block up everything this turn. So it actually is worth it for us to go for the Streamline. So that was a bit odd to go for those lines of plays. Like I said, this Defect is hard to play, especially if you're not used to it. Okay. I don't think dual casting is really going to be worthwhile, so... Sure, we'll take this guy out. That's way less damage being dealt to us. And basically, we're just like almost preventing all the damage that he's dealing. We just need one block every single turn. So he would have been dead no matter what. Oh my god, we did get mummified hand, which means I can start to prioritize all the power cards. Okay. Cool. Cool. If we ever get offered them. That's what this comes down to. Alright, we have Charge Battery, which is a 1 mana gain 10 block, and you get an extra energy at the start of your turn. So it's like the silent card that deals damage. Very similar to that, but the opposite, obviously. Rip and Tear, we've already looked at you. It's a pretty decent card. We have Aggregate, 1 mana for gain 1 energy for every 5 cards in your draw pile. So if we had a beefier deck, I could consider that to be able to get us like an extra, like almost like turbo, to be able to get some extra energy. I don't think we actually need that though. So I think if I'm going to take a card, it's going to be Charge Battery, and I actually think Charge Battery is pretty decent. So, well, that's a clear choice. From there, we already have 10 block up this turn, so I would take 1 damage. So do we set up the capacitor here? Do we set up like a ball lightning? Do we set up just like streamline? These are all tough choices. I'm not sure, actually. Maybe like Cool-Headed might just be the play, just to get up to make sure we take 0 damage this turn. I think I like that a little bit more. We draw Capacitor too. Awesome. All right. Let's see what we draw. Okay. And we can get up another one. Okay, this is looking pretty good. I like this so far. We're off to a good start. We're off to a good start. All right, we have Machine Learning to help us out. Obviously, that doesn't matter. Sure, we can evoke one of these. He's already at half health now, so... And this will deal 15, 15, 19, 22, 25. We're close, but we're not quite there. So we need to defend no matter what. Prevent as much damage as possible this turn. Wish we'd do the hologram, actually. That would have been fantastic. But do we just prevent all the damage we can this turn? I think that's the play, unfortunately. It just doesn't feel good because we're still going to take 2 damage here. But it's not the end of the world. Yeah, let's dual cast, and then we can just kill you. Awesome. So we have Loop, which is probably the pick here, but it's a power card, and at the start of your turn, trigger the passive ability of your next orb. So basically just get an extra orb, so we get like an extra 3 damage or something every turn. Recycle is obviously a good card to take later on if we need the extra energy or be able to exhaust and be able to maybe to get ourselves down to a combo, which we don't really have a combo. We have Force Field, which, still is not really worthwhile since we don't have enough power cards to take advantage of that, but I do think Loop is actually a reasonable choice. We can go to a shop here. Is that better than going to a shop, say, up here? So we have how many combats? Same amount of combats. Okay. Juzu Bracelet or the Sapphire Key. So normal enemies are no longer encountered in question mark rooms. Oh my god. Oh, my brain. It's just like... It is really, really good. Juicer Bracelet, especially since we're going to be prioritizing question mark rooms coming to the next floor. The only issue is that if we do that, then we don't have a Sapphire Key for this floor, which means we have to take it on the next one. I think I'm just going to take the Sapphire Key here, as much as Juzu Bracelet actually is good. And it would have prevented this, but that's okay. As long as we can get out of this without taking any damage, I will be more than happy. So let's start with the Cool-Headed, see where that leads us. From there, where do we go? Do we compile driver? If I do, it's probably going to be on this one. Unfortunately, auto shields doesn't do anything for us here. Could go for a hologram. Hologram would be 5, 6, 7, it'd be 8 and 9 if I go for the other one. So it'd be at 19, which would prevent the damage. But then we don't get to cast Capacitor this turn, which I do think we actually want to. Right. Forgot we had Mummified Hand. Oh, actually, that's pretty insane for us. All right. From here, we have enough to be able to block. So let's seek for an aggressive card. Do we want Loop? Do we want Ball Lightning? Can't cast Streamline this turn. So it's either Loop or Ball Lightning, my guess. I think Loop is going to be more powerful. It also lets us cast another card potentially this turn. So like a free Streamline. Yeah. Get in there. I'm not going to cast a dual cast because we want to be able to take more advantage of this Lightning Orb. From here, let's go for a Charge Battery. We don't have enough damage to be able to reduce his plate armor. We can kill this. I think we do. And I guess the question is, do we need any more block? We don't. Okay, so I don't need to cast Steam Barrier. So that's at least good for us. We can save the Steam Barrier charges. Clearly, we're going to zap here from there. Do we go for the Cool-Headed here? So it's 7, 8, 9. 9 plus 10. Yeah, we should do that then. Okay, so that should be able to block just fine. And unfortunately, we can't deal any more damage to him, so I'm just going to block up. We can't break his armor, his plate armor. Now we're at a point, though, that we're starting to get to a place where we don't have to cast as many defends in our opening hands, which is good. But unfortunately, this turn, we're going to be taking some damage. That sucks. That sucks a lot. Does it matter if we deal the damage? Because he's not going to be... He's only taking 9 here. They could go for the Machine Learning. Obviously, it makes it free, so that would have been the correct play. I'm just not paying attention to the Mummified Hand. Man, we took too much damage there. Is there a way we can kill you? There it is. It's like, wait a minute. All right, so we have Claw, which is pretty reasonable still. We have Sweeping Beam, which is a new one. So whenever we play it, it deals 6 damage to all enemies, and it draws a card. So that's pretty decent too. We have Double Energy, which is just doubles your energy for 0 mana, which we don't really need because we don't have anything that takes advantage of that. So there are ways to take advantage of it, though. Like Tempest Lightning is a card that gives you X lightning orbs. Like that would be something you could take advantage of with it. I do think that Sweeping Beam, though, is a necessary card because we don't have any AoEs currently, and that is going to be more beneficial to us. Do we need HP? I don't think we do. This would basically make it so that way we could potentially pick up a key up here if we don't take any damage. We could fight the other elite here, too. I think we take the gamble. Our deck's starting to look a little better. It's starting to come together, even though it's not, like, great yet, but it's definitely coming together. Let's go for the Cool-Headed. Let's go for the Hologram. Go back for the Cool-Headed. Let's go for the Compile. I'm going to try to target this guy. And we have Defends. Okay, so we're at 21 block, which means I can block all the damage being dealt to us. Let's go for the Machine Learning. Yeah. I should have went for the Machine Learning before I went for the first strike there, but... Rewarded, you know? Rewarded. Definitely have to go for the Capacitor. From there. Charge Battery is really good. Okay. So we're going to take 1 damage? That's fine. We're taking 1 damage so we can kill off the Mystic there. So that was actually really reasonable for us. Let's go for the Auto Shields. Okay, so we're still going to be taking... No, we're not taking any damage, actually. Awesome. That's what I'd like to see. Let's go. Let's go for a loop. Not that that matters. Alrighty. Unfortunately, we can't cast auto shields because of the frost orbs now. It's actually because of the loop, technically, but man, that's unfortunate. That's still okay, though. Let's see what we draw first before making any decisions. We can go for the streamline. Can we kill him with it? I think, yeah, it does kill him. Okay, so streamline, where are you? There you are. All right. And we have that, and you are dead. Nice. Let's move on. Meteor Strike. All right, so that one costs 5 mana, deal for 24 damage, and you channel 3 Plasma Orbs. Plasma Orbs are the ones that generate mana, in case you're wondering. I don't think we actually want any of these, though, to be honest. Like, Claw is probably the reasonable choice, but I don't think we need it. Like, we're already at a place where we're starting to take advantage of, like, the cool-headed. So maybe, like, Hologram with Claw might be worth it, now that I think about it, to recur the Claw. I don't know. I don't think that's really necessary. It's a way to scale, though. And unfortunately, we can't upgrade this either. I think we pass here. Claw is a reasonable choice, though. All right, compile driver. Let's see what you get us, bro. Get us a loop. Okay. And we'll just deal a little bit of damage. Awesome. All right, so we're basically just like trying to make sure we just don't take a lot of damage here. That's the name of the game right now. That is the name of the game. As much as I would like to set up another Frost Orb here, I don't think we can afford to, because we're just going to need to cast a Defend regardless this turn. Actually, no, we're just going to cast the Hologram, so I think we just go for, like, Zap, Holo, Zap. Ooh, Sweeping Beam. Nice. Some extra damage. And I guess we just, yeah, try to make it so that way you die. That would be nice here. Awesome. So now we are hexed. We need to prevent 6 damage. We could take 1 if I go for the defend here. Okay. I do really want to get the capacitor in play, but yeah, I think we do go for the capacitor. It's going to put some garbage cards into our deck, but made streamline free. Can't be complaining there. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, so we're going to be casting all these. Okay, extra mana for next turn. Unfortunately, it's not going to matter, though, because now we just put, 5 dazes into our deck. So that was actually silly. I shouldn't have gone for the charge battery. I was just getting greedy. It's just getting way too greedy. Do I go for the dual cast? Dual cast will what? Give me 10 block here? I think we do. I only take 2. Okay. All right. So we don't have to do anything this turn. Just pass. Great. We're looking okay, though. We're looking okay. I, made a couple of mistakes here and there, but we're definitely, we're doing all right. We've only taken 3 damage since that last rest stop, so. Is another hologram worthwhile so that we can get more orbs in play? Loop is also just like good too, but unfortunately it does like make it so that way our auto shields is just a dead card. I don't think we need another ball lightning. We're like past the point of needing like a strike plus, which is what this is. But hologram is probably worthwhile. Hologram and Loop are the cards that I'm considering. I'm just not sure which one is good, which one's better here. Loop gives us more value over the course of the game, whereas Hologram sets us up. And I don't know if we necessarily need more setup right now, since we do have like a Seek to be able to help us set up, and plus the Hologram with Cool Headed, and as well as like the Zap and the Ball Lightning too. be able to get us some more orbs in play. I think we just go for another loop here. And we can afford to fight this, so let's go. Seek. Like to get the cool-headed. I actually should have done the zap first and kept the cool head in the back just in case. That was silly. Yeah, we're going to block all the damage here, so this is worthwhile to us. Okay, let's go. Just like taking a second to pause. Like, this character is hard. That's for sure. It's very hard to play. We can go for the cool-headed. This is why like ordering your orbs matters a lot, because we want the cool-headeds in play. We actually want all cool-headeds. Machine learning. And we're not going to be able to prevent all the damage unless we actually go for the defense. Let's go for the defend. And I don't want to dual cast a Frost Orb here. Okie dokie then. Where do we go? What do we do? Unfortunately, auto shields. Ugh. You're just going to become a dead card, my friend. Just going to become a dead card. Yes, we have to cast that. I just don't know if we want to cast the ball lightning. That's the problem here. I think we go for the compile. And that way we can prevent all the damage being dealt to us this turn. I don't think it's worth it for us to cast the ball lightning, because we don't want it to be every other. We actually want all three of these to be frost orbs so we can actually deal damage. We have capacitor. Okay, thank you. That was very helpful. That was very, very helpful. We drew cool-headed. Awesome. From there, we're probably just going to need to like reinforce body. Do we need a steam barrier after this? We're at 10 right now. He's dealing us 24. This will be 18. This will be 28 block. So we don't have to. Okay. Unfortunately, we're not really like dealing him a lot of damage right now, but we are preventing all the damage being dealt to us. So hologram. Hologram for what? Cool-headed here? Which means we're not dealing any damage. Like, this is the problem that we run into. I do think it's worthwhile, though, to still go for. There we go. There's a streamline we can cast. And we have to go for that so we can actually try to prevent as much damage as possible this turn. And this will actually prevent all the damage. Yes. And I think we dual cast our orb here. Okay, we prevented all the damage again, which is good. That's why these frost orbs are here. We're getting really close to being able to kill him, so it's like I think it's time to start pulling the trigger on going for all the lightning orbs. Okay, let's go. That was reasonable. We're not taking any damage. He's at 21 health. We're really, really close here. There we go. That is enough to kill you. Awesome. We didn't take any damage. That was a hard fight, but it was obviously long and torturous. I get that. We could take a claw here. This turn, your next power card is played twice. Amplify is not a terrible one. What does this look like upgraded, actually, just out of curiosity? Next two? Yeah. I don't think we're really, like, we don't have enough powers to take advantage of Amplify, but the claw is definitely something to consider. We don't need more mana, so Turbo's not really going to help us here. Since, like, we have 4 mana, and we're almost able to use it every turn and not have to, like, we're not scrambling to find more. But, like, Claw is a card that definitely can scale for us, and I think we're looking for a card that will scale right now, especially if we're picking up, we have Hologram already in the deck, and we're probably going to pick up another one, I would imagine, along the way. I'd like at least one of them. I will take the Ruby Key here. Thank you. We have potential to fight the Heart now. We're looking for more focus cards, though. Unfortunately, right now, like, we're getting kind of hosed on that department. Yeah, let's go for a power. Ooh. Oh, Oh, this is what we're looking for, in case you're wondering. Defragment is actually a card that we need for this deck, which is to gain focus. But I do think Echo Form is just really powerful. Yeah, like we have to go for that. It plays the first card you play every turn is doubled, basically. So, like here, we get 2 loops. We also made our like entire hand free, basically. Capacitor, awesome. I'd like to start trying to take out these guys. Unfortunately, I'm going to take some damage here, though. I'm not going to play the dual cast because we actually need the orbs. Damn, I actually kind of wanted the Seek. It's okay, maybe we'll find some other better things we can do here. So we're just going to be targeting one of these guys. And I just need to make sure I don't take too much damage here. Let's see if he'll die. Give him the opportunity. Unfortunately, I discarded our card that he had, which was what, the engine thing? I don't remember. Cool-headed, woo! Finally, some block. Okay, hologram to find cool-headed. Awesome, we can find some more block. Fantastic. So from there, where do we go? I don't think Ball Lightning is worthwhile. Reinforced Body is probably just the safe play here. I think it is still the best play. So we're trying to get it to a place where like we have all Frost Orbs right now, in case you're wondering. So now this is going to deal 9 damage. We have Sweeping Beam. We can get another Cool-Headed in play, so why don't we do that? We have enough block, so let's go for the Machine Learning. Don't need to cast anything else. I guess we cast this just because, like, in case we draw more cards, we can actually cast another one. It's not like it punishes us for casting the charge battery there. So, 51. Yeah, auto shields. Thank you. Oh, unfortunately, it was played twice. Right. Oh, that was awful for me. That's okay. We're still doing all right. Sure. It's like, yeah, I guess we go for that. We can seek. Seeking gets us 5 more block this turn. Okay. Okay. That it's worth it. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Yeah. From here, we can't cast Auto Shields. That's fine, but we do have Ball Lightnings. Do we start to be aggressive here? I don't think we necessarily need to, but... Oh, I should have played the double Ball Lightning. Oh, right. Ethereal Armor. Or Echo Form, sorry. Echo Form. We need to remember you. Which means I should have gone for the Ball Lightning, actually. So... I think we still go for it. Problem is we don't have any zero casting cost cards to now take advantage of the hologram, so unfortunately I screwed myself there. I don't think it's worth it to really use this energy potion. I think we just pass. Okay. So... do we go for the double compile driver or go for the double battery charge? Let's see. We have 12 block already here, which means we don't necessarily need to go for the double charge battery. So I think we go for the double compile driver here. Awesome. We get a cool-headed, which means that I can try to get some more block there. We drew a claw, which is very reasonable because that's another thing that's going to be scaling for us. Where else are we going? I think we have to cast Charge Battery. We have enough to be able to block him. Okay, that's good. So that means we can just deal a couple of extra points of damage here. So let's go for that. I don't think it's necessary for us to go for the zap here since we actually do want the block to continue. If we were like in an oh crap moment where we're going to take a bunch of damage, like sure, I'll evoke a Frost Orb, but if we don't need to, then I'm just going to let it do its thing and just chill for a bit. Like here, I actually could go for a cool-headed because it's just going to replace a Frost Orb. And we have the extra mana to be able to go for it here. So this is actually fine because it also draws us a card. So we can do that again. Or we could go for a Streamline. I think cool-headed is just going to be better for us. So we want a Congo line of Frost Orbs to be able to help us out. So that way now we can like evoke these if we want, which I think I will here. We just want, like, all the Frost Orbs together is basically what it comes down to. See, like, this turn's going to be a lot of damage. We do have auto shields, though. Unfortunately, we can't go for... We shouldn't go for that first. Is it better for us to go for, like, double ball lightning? Or double compile driver? Because we need to get the double out of here first. Because if I cast the auto shields, we're obviously going to get eaten by the Echo Form. We're not going to be able to actually take advantage of it. So is it better to go for a ball lightning here? How much block do we have? 21. 27 right now. I think it's better to go for the double ball lightning. We have 27. That's 32 actually right there. You know what? I think we go for it. And then we go for auto shields. Make sure we order these correctly. From there, strike deals more damage. Alrighty. Okay, where do we want to go? Obviously, we want to start with a claw. That deals the most amount of damage. These games play out so oddly, but like here, he's going to be defending next turn, so I actually don't think we go for the zap. Yeah, I think that's correct. Because I don't think we're going to be able to kill him next turn if he defends. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Yeah, that went pretty well, huh? Hey, Echo Form or Bias Cognition. Oh my god, they're both insane. I don't know which one's better. Oh, crap. So you obviously saw how good Echo Form was, but unfortunately it has Ethereal, and we don't have any ways to upgrade it, so it will be Ethereal. So if the turn we cast it, we draw it. If we can't cast it, then we'll lose it, which is unfortunate. But yeah, the first card you play each turn is played twice. You just saw in that matchup where that was really, really good for us. Bias Cognition, which is gain 4 focus, but at the start of your turn, you lose 1 focus, and that's continual over the course of the game. So every single turn, you'll lose a focus. So it gives you a huge boost, and then gradually brings you down and down and down and down. So Bias Cognition, though, is really good. Echo Form, also really good. I'm not sure which one is better here, though. I think if we had more... right now, we don't have a lot of orbs, so I'm thinking that Bias Cognition might just get the axe. Because we only have really like the cool-headed, the ball lightning, and the zap. That's not really a lot, to be completely honest with you. I think we go for the ethereal, the Echo Form. I keep calling it ethereal because it has ethereal Echo Form. I think that's just better. We also have 4 mana too right now, so yeah, I think that's going to be more beneficial to us. From here, I'm not really sure what to go for. Obviously, we want to rest, because then all those rest sides do nothing for us, so we're not going to be taking Coffee Dripper, I can tell you that much. Empty Cage to remove 2 cards, or Choker to give us an extra energy, but we can only cast 6 cards per turn. We don't really have enough card draw to fully take advantage of that. Also, we have some 0 mana casting cost cards, and the turns that we want to be able to go for, like the hologram, start to hurt us in the long run. We don't really have very many 2 mana casting. We don't have any 2 casting cost cards, because even this I don't really count as 2 casting. I think we just remove 2 cards then from our deck. As crazy as that is, we just remove just a strike and a defend, or a strike and a strike. What is the worst thing for us? I would say auto shield is actually not very good for us anymore. It's actually been kind of dead because of the loops, unfortunately. I think that's a reason to cut it. Go for auto shields and for strike. Because the defend is typically just better for us on average. I think it's because we have the double loops that I can't keep the auto shields in the deck. That's so sad. Auto shields is actually really powerful, but if we didn't have the loops, you know, we'd be fine. But because the loops trigger at the beginning of our turn, it means we could have block up with cool-headed. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that is what we do here. Awesome. So, Yeah, an hour and 18 minutes. Okay, we got to stop here. I got some work I got to go do. So, hopefully everybody enjoyed this episode. I'm trying to squeeze at least 2 acts in, and once we start to get more comfortable with the characters, then obviously I'll try to make it so we can just blow through it in one fell swoop. I'm also trying to like commentate a little bit more over things because obviously this is a brand new character. So it's nice to just kind of go over, you know, my thought process behind each of the decisions, and then as we get further and further along, you get bored of that. So that's why I don't explain very much very often later on. I'm sure you notice that with the Ironclad. So that's eventually what this will turn into. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I actually think this is going to turn out pretty nice. We're looking for a couple more like orbs, preferably focus. So defragment would be awesome. Some more frost orbs, maybe 1 or 2 more frost orb makers would be great. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Maybe another capacitor. That would be awesome too. That's definitely made this deck stronger. And if we're going to be fighting against like the heart, we definitely need some more orb slots, or some more focus, or just, you know, like stuff like that in general, so that way we can actually try to take out, you know, our enemies and not take damage. That's basically what this character does, is just set up orbs while not taking damage. So without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It truly does help out the channel greatly. And I just want to sit there and say thank you, too, for everybody that has gone forward and actually supported and just dropped a like. Because, you know, you could be doing a million other things other than just watching this video. I'm not sure. I was gonna say lousy, but it's a video. I've definitely been enjoying playing this game. It's just been a lot of fun, and I do like commentating, and yeah, it's just kind of like my escape for the day to be able to enjoy myself, and this is what I do for fun, to get away from, give myself a break from the hectic life. So thank you guys, everybody, for all the support you've been giving lately. Leaving just like a comment or leaving a like really does go a long way, and it helps the channel greatly. And it just gives me a little bit more of a boost too, to know that people actually care about the videos. So thank you very much. Yeah, that's it. Have yourself a great day. Make sure you do something positive today. Do one small thing every single day that moves you forward in life, and eventually you'll start to snowball into a great place. So good luck. And grind on, everyone.